Hello, Dirty 30. I am Undead Juggernaut. Today I am going to be talking to you about more elite expectations. I will be clarifying some new rules and reiterating some old ones, and let you know what it means to be a member of Dirty 30. Let's make it clear. Dirty 30 isn't a faction in the road to survival. It isn't a group. It isn't game players. Dirty 30 is a mentality. Much like a religion, if you will. It's not the members that make up the group. It's not the group itself. It's a belief. It's a drive, a desire to be more than what you are by yourself. Therefore, it doesn't matter who the members are. If you're Dirty 30, you know it because you live it. We are elite. That being said, we have high expectations, but we know that you can meet them. When we promote people, it's not just because we feel like, oh, they've shown some loyalty. When we promote someone, it's because they've earned it. So I'm going to set some clear expectations that the leaders have agreed upon. I'm going to explain exactly what they are, and I'm going to explain what will happen if expectations are not met. Now, please let me be clear. The expectations that I'm about to set out go for everyone in the Dirty 30, from newcomer to co-lead to the leader himself. The goals I set aren't aspirations, something we'd like to see happen. They're expectations. And if you don't meet them, there can and will be consequences. Let's start with the faction level up tournaments and war goals. With war right around the corner, I'll come back to that later. First, let's talk about the leads and co-leads. Leads and co-leads are expected to reach at least 50,000 points for every faction level up tournament and or war. Constables are expected to reach at least 40,000 points. Recruiters are expected to hit 30,000, and both newcomers and runners are expected to hit 20,000 points. Let's talk about a faction raid tournament. For faction raid tournaments, the leads and constables are expected to hit 1,400. Recruiters are expected to hit at least 900. And newbies and runners are expected to hit 600. So, to clarify, if you are a member of Dirty 30, you have expectations. These expectations are daily activity and hitting the goals that we set. We understand that life happens, that not everyone has the time or energy to be active all the time. We know that family things come up. So, if you know for a fact that you will not be able to give 110% and you will not be able to hit the goals that are set forth for your title, you need to let a member of leadership know before the event. No excuses. If you can't reach the goal, we need to know about it. We will be more than happy to give you a pass if it's a legitimate excuse. I use that term very, very, very cautiously. Excuse. We don't like excuses. We don't take excuses. But we understand that reasons happen. Family things, illnesses, that sort of thing. Even work. Just let us know. Keep us in the loop. Because let me be clear. If you're a leader or co-lead and it's a faction level up or a war goal and you don't hit 50,000 and you haven't let another co-lead know before the event, you could possibly get demoted to constable. If you're a constable and you don't hit 40,000, you could get demoted to recruiter. And if you're a recruiter and you don't hit 20,000 or higher, you will get demoted, or you could get demoted to newbie. Here's where it gets important. If you find yourself at a newbie position, we follow a 3 strikes and you're out rule. If you do not hit the bare minimum requirements for a newcomer, you will be removed from the Dirty 30 after your 3rd strike. Please keep this in mind. No one, and I do mean no one, is above these expectations. Also, it's important that we talk a little bit about your reputation and your level. Always raid. Raid every day, especially if you're under 10,000 points. Unfortunately, currently, that's yours truly. That's right, I'm not at 10,000 points, and I know it. But every day I work hard to try and get there. The reason it's important to focus on raids and being active every day is because it not only improves your reputation, it improves our overall standing. And everyone knows that the higher the standing, the better the rewards. Also, when you're going to do raiding, don't just raid anyone. Try to do revenge raids if you can. Not only will it help your score, but it'll help your teammates as well. Help them get back some of the materials that they may have lost. Also, if you look to see who you should raid, pick someone who's slightly higher than you. It'll improve you by 25 or more points. And that reputation helps us all. Revenge raids are key. Now I'm going to shift gears for a second, and I'm going to explain the SOP, or Standard Operating Procedure. The SOP has changed a little bit since the last war. Nothing too major, but I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So I'm going to quote Rags, our fearless leader. Forgive my crappy British accent. Every war we suffer because of waiting times. Try to be online as often as possible and join as many wars as you can. The quicker you restart the war, the quicker we can get points. You see, it's not about winning every war. It's about scoring as many points as possible and then getting on to the next one. The thing that puzzles us is that as soon as a war is over, we struggle to get enough for the next one. So let's take a moment and let's talk about Standard Operating Procedure, SOP. Towers are the main priority. Now this is a new strategy, so everyone must follow it. First off, we need a minimum of 2 people in captured towers. If they are taken by the enemy, take them back as soon as possible. Not only does it make our war easier, but it makes the opponents much harder. Generals must ignore the towers and start at the start of the war and go straight for raiding General A, then General B. Your lifespan if you are a general is short, so make the most of it. When the towers are taken, generals can add support, if possible. Last but not least, when the battle to take towers is enforced, everyone needs to attack Camp A, General 1 first, then Camp B, General. As soon as it's possible, stack the captured towers, again, at least 2 in each. Once you've hit or attempted to hit the generals, commence your attack on all of Camp A, clockwise, from General A, and then repeat it on Camp B. Whoever gets the MVP in the war, so be it. No one, and I repeat no one, breaks standard operating procedures for their own gain. This is the most important faction event in the Walking Dead Road to Survival. It's critical that we get it right. If Rags is informed by anyone that someone hasn't been following the standard procedure without orders from the commanding officer, there will be a reckoning. If you want 5-star characters in this game, the only one event to win is wars. If you're happy with a 5-star trainer, frankly, you're in the wrong faction. Now, here's the deal. We have what's called a commander, commanding officer. It's decided before the war who the commander will be. See, now I'm back in Rags mode, and he didn't say all this. This part is back to me. When a commander is selected, they will decide whether we farm the enemy, whether we rebuild, or we wait for them to rebuild. Again, it's not about winning every war. It's about getting as many points as possible. If they're not rebuilding, the CO will say, end it, and we move on to the next one. If at all possible, get into the next war as well. War as much as you can. The goals that have been set for you in war are set because of the level that you are. If you cannot meet those goals, then it means that we've either promoted you too soon, or your team just isn't up to snuff. You can request to be demoted if you don't feel like you can reach the goals that have been set. However, keep in mind, it may be a little more difficult to get promoted if you ask to be demoted. Now, this we will tell you. There comes a time, on occasion, where you must leave and do real-world things, family vacations, work trips, that sort of thing, where you'll be off for an extended period of time. You may or may not want to leave Dirty 30 during that time. It's up to you. But honestly, if you let us know about it, we will often allow you to stay in Dirty 30, even though you're not scoring points. You may be asking yourself why. Well, the answer is simple. Your rep, even if you're not active, helps the faction. So, It's important for us to keep you on as long as we can. Now, if we get up to a point where we're close to 30 and we need an extra body, we may boot you at that point, but you're always welcome back as long as you left on good terms. I will say this, and this is a personal thing from me. GroupMe is something that we all use and something we all enjoy. However, if you decide to leave Dirty 30 or you've been kicked, I ask that you please remove yourself from GroupMe. Our GroupMe is a privilege, and we often share inside secrets on that is not meant for general pub. So, please, if you are removed from Dirty 30 and you're no longer a member, kindly remove yourself from GroupMe. Don't worry, if you come back to the 30, we'll add you back in. This has been Undead Juggernaut. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I know that it was a bit long, but I think it's important that we cover all of these. So until next time, stay dirty, my friends.